So I said I know that last week, what we did last week is kind of a big one. It's a fair, like, yeah, you guys very first one that you to write code. You understand? In all the ISCs we have been doing recently, I don't think we have had a situation whereby we wrote code like this before. So today, what we are going to do today is um, look at everything that was done last week, the assignment that was given last week, and say, okay, which of these points do we need more explanation on, or which of these points do we need to put in more emphasis on? Do you understand? So that's the reason why we're having the class for today. So after we have gotten it right in terms of writing the code, then we'll talk about deploying it using pipeline. Do you understand? You guys get what I said?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's start with anybody that has anything. So firstly, show me what you have done. What do you have your code? What do you think we can pick up? One or two things we can pick up from it. So we're going to iron it out. Maybe you are stuck in subscription level, no problem. If you are stuck in resource group level, no problem. Just show me what you have done. So you can share your screen. We can start.
Okay, let me share my screen, sir. I won't lie, I don't understand what I did, but screen.
Stop showing fake humility. Good afternoon, Mr. Shea.
Sumbo, Sumbo, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm back, I'm better.
I'm happy to hear that. So, what you have done yours also, or you have something
No, I've not done mine. No, I've not done mine. I have nothing to show, nothing to share, but
you will show
I
me
will
something.
certainly show mine
So,
for the next class.
no, anything you can cook up within now and when it's your time. I need to show me something. Anything you
Ah.
can cook up on your VS code. Anything you can cook up.
I
Just let me see
actually have
something.
not really gone like made my own sit down with it properly. So I don't think I can cook anything than beans.
No
So
problem. Let's start with
okay.
it.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen, sir?
Oh yes, I can.
Okay, like I said, I've been able to cook up something, but I don't know how it tastes like. So, the
You
first
know,
thing,
if you didn't check what it tastes like.
that's why we have the master chef with us. So, so basically, the assignment was to create a virtual machine and a virtual network and link it up in the sub module. So
Okay.
while I was, this was the virtual machine I created, I kept watching the video because this is kind of different from what we did in class. Because in class, I know we have the web app and one other uh, app like that, but trying to understand this one, the template and the structure, it won't be the same like that one.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, I just know I was able to create my main.bicep virtual machine, virtual network, and sub module. So I'm still going through the parameters. I won't lie to you, sir. My head is just hot. I kept watching the video, going back, going back, going back.
Okay.
I
No
couldn't
problem.
understand it.
No problem. We are going to don't worry, there's nothing like rocket science here. You understand? So we'll get everything
Yes, sir.
sorted out. So uh from what you have presently, can you just show me how it works? Like based on what you have presently. Like, okay, let's start with your main.bicep. What does your main.bicep actually deploys?
So this is my main.bicep, like the entry to the whole code.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, scroll up, scroll up, scroll up, scroll up,
I
scroll
should
up.
scroll down.
No, up.
Okay,
So start from line 25. Everything above that line 25, those ones are comments. You don't literally need
Yes.
them. So don't bore yourself with
Yes.
them. That one.
Yeah.
The next thing again, you have those ones are just comment parameters. And the next thing here you have in description. Description is
Yes.
uh just a, is a
This
codified way to say a comment. It's just a description. It's not actually part of the code. It's just a kind
okay.
of comment. That's what description does for you. The next thing you did, no, you can uncheck it, you can uncomment it. Just leave it. It's okay. The next thing you have there is your param
For
location
location.
string is equals to resource group dot location. You understand?
Yes,
So
sir.
your resource group is a function where you see because you are making this thing like more complex for yourself, so to speak. You understand?
Hmm.
I would have said that you just use the same thing I did, just advance what I did. That's the only thing you need to do. You understand? Look at what I
Yes,
did,
sir.
advance it. Don't create anything out of it. Just the ones I
Okay.
did. That's your base code. You understand? That's your base code.
Okay.
Everything you
Okay.
do, you are doing it out of what I have done. So what you are doing here that I'm seeing is that you are starting to you are trying to invent the wheel from the scratch. Do you understand? And you
Yes,
know
sir. Yes, sir.
when you're inventing the wheel, you kind of spend more time when you try to invent the wheel. Just follow what is available and do what you want to do, and you'll be fine. So when you
Okay.
scroll down, you will see that you have more codes that you find it very hard to bring together. Like for instance, when you're having your function and this like your array that are at allowed dev staging church. No, you don't need all those. You don't need all those. You don't need all those things because of um it should not just cause this thing for you. You should not just having things that you literally don't really need, like those dev staging and prod. It's just more complex for you. Next thing again,
Yeah.
scroll down. Here you are seeing source IP allowed IP. I don't think you really need those things for now. Need just being sincere. Admin user, I know you can get admin user. That one you can. That one is even on that thing. Just scroll down. OS logins, OS login. Scroll down. Yeah, OS. So you have a lot of things you actually don't need here. Yeah, just scroll down. But for someone that can literally read the code, can understand what you are saying. I can literally understand what you are saying here. When you have your variables, when you have this and that and that, I understand everything. But at your level, don't complicate things for you yourself. I mean, you understand? Don't complicate it for yourself. Like now, if I tell you that how does all these things add up, you find very hard to connect the dots. But it's actually a nice try.
Yes. Actually, I did find it hard. I was.
I'm with you.
You say, yeah, I did find them hard because it was totally different from what you did. You
Yes.
understand? But at the end of the day, I just know that okay, I know the main function of the main dot bicep, but going through the code, reading the code, it was crazy for me. But I didn't know that I was to use yours as the base code. Just play within what
Okay,
you
no
give to
problem.
us.
So just use mine
Yes, sir.
as your base code. You don't need to. So I in my code, I have created other things. I created resource group, I created app service, and I think one other resource. So what you just do, you just create other resources using that same resource group, using that same app service, using that same everything. So you don't really need to invent the wheel again. You just use the same
Okay.
thing and you continue. So I think that's fine. Being a round of applause for you. You did a good job. Thank you very, very much. Uh, anybody
Very
else?
good. But that's more criticizer. Oh, yeah.
I'm clapping for you now. Me, I'm not even just using emoji. I'm actually clapping.
Literally. Okay. Gbenga did a good job, everybody. So, Oluwaseun, please, you can shoot.
No, it was a mistake. Oh,
Okay. What about your own two assignments? Seun, can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you, sir.
Yeah, what about your assignment? Any update on it?
Sir, there's no update. Oh,
There's no update on it. Sumbo too. No update on it.
no, sir.
I understand Elvis said it's not presently available. So let me share my screen. I'll just walk you how to do the assignment. You understand? How to do the assignment. So it's not I don't want to be giving you guys information overload. I want you guys to be able to practice these things. Do it yourself. That's the main thing. Okay, let's go to draw.io. I'm going to share my screen. Is there anybody that's okay? Okay. So draw.io. Come here. Let me expand the screen. So I want to share you guys. Yeah, I want to show you guys something. Window. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to show you guys what you guys will be doing. So you can use the picture. You can use the picture to understand what you are doing. You understand? So it's not that it is all rocket science. The next thing is source group. So this Azure resource group. Yeah. So you have subscription. And this is your resource group. Resource group. And the next thing you have is your resources. Um, so I created which and which resources last week. I created app service. So this app service. So app service. I said you guys to create virtual network. I said you guys to create virtual network. I said you guys to create a virtual network. Let me expand it. And also I said you guys to create you create one other thing again for it to work. Create virtual network, create virtual machine, and you add this thing to it, public IP. Virtual machine and machine. public IP. So this public IP address. IP. Can all of you see my screen? Hello? Hello, can you
Hello,
guys
yeah,
hear?
I can't see your screen.
You can't see my screen.
No,
You
sir. I'm
can't see
thinking
it.
maybe it's my
Oh,
network. I don't know.
I can see your screen.
I'm not seeing it.
okay. Please,
I can see your screen.
please check your network. Cause so you have please give me a minute. Okay, guys. So let me create a this thing, a single row. So you guys can be able to work with it. Okay, so you have okay. Can you guys see everything I just did? Hello?
Yes,
Yes, I can.
yes.
I can see it.
You can see it. Okay, so let me do this thing. So okay. Okay, good. So look at you have your subscription, you have your resource group, and you have your resources, right? Please, you understand this?
Yes.
Good. Now, I want you guys to picture this. Let me save this. Let me just save this on my um, training. Sorry, I want to save it. Guys. Okay, so let's go to okay. Can you see it now? I will send this. Let me just drop a screenshot of this. I will export this later, but let me just firstly drop a screenshot of it on the group. So when I'm sharing the other screen, you guys can be looking at it inside the um you guys should have the picture of hand. So when we are doing, I'm trying to analyze the things, you can understand better. Have you guys seen what I dropped on the group? Can you guys see what I dropped on the group?
Yes, yes, I've seen it.
Okay, good. Now, from that, let me not share my VS Code. So you can now understand what I'm trying to explain these things one after the other. Stop sharing. Let me share my Yeah. VS Code. Okay. Can you see my VS Code now?
Yes, you can.
Okay, good. Let's look at that picture at one side. Look at that picture. Now look at what I have here. You understand? Look at that picture. Look at what I have here. You understand? Good. Let's go back to our reading. In our reading file, I said that we have subscription. After that, we have our what? Resource group. After that, we have our resources. Right? Do you understand? Now,
Yes,
we now go
subscriptions.
to, okay, let's go to our, this thing. I said we are starting from our first file that we are starting on is our main.bicep. In our main.bicep, it does everything up here goes first, firstly, the target scope here is our subscription, right? Look at, let me drop this one by the side also. You need me by the side. I'm coming this. I want to drop it side by side so we can be looking at it. Target scope here is subscription. This it. Firstly, subscription. We are still on the subscription basis. Can you see it? In this place, everything we are doing here is subscription based kind of thing. One of it that we can deploy in our subscription base is number one, we can deploy our resource group. I mentioned that your resource group is the only thing that can be deployed in your subscription. Do you understand this to that extent? This is the only stuff that you can deploy in your subscription. The other file that you have in here is just a reference. A reference, meaning that things that should occur when my resource group is deployed. That is what you have from line 38 to line 52. All of them are just things that should occur. Things that should occur once my resource group is created. You can see I put it depends on. You understand? Good. Now, this is my main.bicep file. In my main.bicep file, I am deploying something called resource group. My resource group file, I kept my resource group file inside my modules. So I have a file called resource group.bicep. In my resource group.bicep, you can see what is needed to deploy a resource group. This is bicep code to deploy a resource group. Can you see it to that extent? So this is how to deploy a resource group. So I reference it in my main.bicep file. That's number one. Number two, I have other resources that I want to deploy. Other resources. I call those resources, they are under my submodule.bicep. You understand? Under my submodule.bicep. Just give me a minute. So under my submodule.bicep, I put all my resources in there. For instance, when you open my submodule.bicep, you will see that I reference the code from my app service here. Meaning that, firstly, how the code runs, number one, it goes to my main.bicep file. It deploys, number one, my resource group. After deploying my resource group, it goes to go and look at what else do I have that I want to put inside my resource group. I have my submodules. Submodules means that my resources that I want to deploy in my resource group. You will see that in my submodule, the scope in my submodule is referencing resource group, meaning that these resources will be deployed inside resource group. You understand? But resource group will be deployed inside subscription. Look at this scope. You can see it. When you look at resource group on the other side, you see I did not put scope here, but it has a target scope of subscription. You can see it. submodule here, I am deploying my app service.bicep. That's for my app service. When I open my resources, you can see it's inside my resources folder. This is the folder. Open my resources. I have my app service.bicep code. This is the bicep code to deploy my app service. It's just as simple as that. If I want to deploy for my virtual machine, for instance, now, all what I just need to do is that I will go to this my resources. I will create a new file called virtual machine.bicep. That's number one. After creating it, I'll put my bicep code for deploying virtual machine. Do you understand? After doing that, I will now come to my submodule.bicep and reference, like you see the one I have module for app service. I will now put it down here again. This one will now be for virtual machine. This one will now be for virtual machine. I'll put my module, put my parameters, and so on and so forth. And after it, I will say virtual machine and put in the parameters I want to put in. I will put the I will reference my virtual machine file. So it will be ./resources. Please let's look at this thing very well. The referencing the file name very well. So let me just use this. So resources, we will now have virtual machine. The virtual machine .bicep. After that, I'll just close my bracket in here. I put in the parameters I want to put in, like the name, firstly the scope, the name, that's app service. This time around it will be virtual machine. The params, please note these params are what I'll be using in my my virtual machine. Like for instance, I'll be needing tags, name separator, capex, location, tags, and so on and so forth in my virtual machine. So that is for virtual machine aspect. If you are creating a virtual network also, you will create a virtual network like this. You will come here firstly under resources, create a new file called virtual network. Virtual network .bicep. After that, you put in all what you want to put in it. Do you understand? Just the code that you need to pass into the virtual network. After that, you go to your submodule, create a new module in your submodules for virtual. This one will now be for virtual network. Do you understand? This one is going to make it to change to this one. I'm now referencing my virtual network code. I'll put in the parameters and all what I need to put in there, and that's all. Public IP again, same thing goes for public IP. New file, public IP. So it's a camel case, please. Public IP .bicep. So if I'm creating public IP, I'll put in the code for public IP and so on and so forth. After that, I'll go to after creating the bicep code for my public IP, I will now go to my submodule.bicep. I will now reference my public IP the way I did for this ones. I'll say, okay, public IP will now be this. This one will be public IP. Public IP. And here we'll be referencing public IP. Guys, can you see what I just did here now? Please, anybody's any question based on what I just showed? Okay, Benga, you can shoot.
Okay, yes, sir. So I've seen what you did. It's very clear. So my question is, along the line, will you know the parameters you're supposed to add to these modules? How will you come up with those parameters?
Okay, so when
Will
you
it
are
be
creating,
app service.
So when you are creating resources, for instance, you don't literally need to know all the values for everything. You understand? Like some of the major things that you will need. I want to give you, for instance, one of them. That's app service. I'll put app service by the side here. You understand? So you can walk along with it. You understand? So in app service here, for instance, now the parameters I put in for app service here, you see params. I said I'm using name separator. I'm using calf prefix. I have explained this calf prefix last week. Anybody that don't understand this, please check the last video. Location and tags. You understand? Now, in my resource, the resource I'm talking about here is app service on bicep, right? This is the code for app service on bicep. So that everything that I put in my params here, I put them here also. Do you understand? Anyone that I see that is showing yellow means that it is not used. It's declared, but it's not used in the code. For instance, now I'm deploying. Let me start with location. Location, for instance, now this is the code to deploy app service plan. It is needing what is called location. You see, I just use location and location. You see, I make like click on the location. It picked it that this is a location. Sorry, this is the location. I see that the location is something I reference in the module here. For instance, now if I say okay, my SKU name, I'll just give you, for instance, now my SKU name, I don't want to put the value here. I want to put inside this place. Or what I will just do is that I will remove the value here. Let me firstly where's one. Okay. So SKU name doesn't have the value here. You understand? If I try to deploy it like this, it won't work. You see that immediately I put SKU name and I don't put value in front of it. You see that this thing changed to red, and it shows me that what I have a variable called, I have an object called SKU name, but it doesn't have value. What should it do? Because if I don't do like this, it won't work. So how do I solve it? I can come here and say, okay, I have a param called SKU name. Reference it here. SKU name. I can now say, okay, this is the value for SKU name. Sorry, let me remove this. This is the value for SKU name. You see that the issue was resolved. So in some situations, you may know the exact values. Like all this name separator, perfect, and so on and so on. I've already known the values. These are the values. The values are here in my main.bicep file. You see, I have my perfect values here, and so on and so forth. So I don't want you guys to firstly start working on this one. Just ignore this main file. The main thing that you should look at here is your resource and your submodule.bicep. Your resources, submodule.bicep. That's everything you just need to work on for now. In your resource, you are creating your resource just like we have for app service. Create your resource. In your resource file, like for example, let me look at public IP file. Firstly, I will do is that I will copy all these things out. Firstly, put it here. You understand? After that, I will now start creating the resources for my public IP. Public IP, I can now say resource and so on. I'll follow the many processes and so on and so forth. You understand? From our video last week, you understand? So it's equals to open calibrates and that's all. And you put your parameters or what you need for your public IP, and we are good. So please, do you understand it to this extent? I'm not saying that I should understand everything perfectly, but at least do you understand all what I did to this extent?
Yes, to an extent, we'll still go back and review. But the main thing I learned here is the parameters and declaring it and always making reference to it to share. But
Mm-hmm.
we'll still go back and digress here. For for
Okay.
for for anything you have, there must be a reference to it.
Mm-hmm.
And in other words, to apart from declaring it, just like as you wrote comments there, that's double slash app service plan. They should be like just for you to easily know where your code is to. So we'll still go back and review it. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
You're welcome. Anybody again? Anybody?
Yeah, I'll add to what I'll add to what Tunde has said. Although my network here is kind of funny, but I was able from the diagram that you just dropped. Okay, I was able to, well, I say interpolate, or I was able to place things and understand resource group and stating of the resource group. So where I know I'll still put in more effort is to understand each resource group, and just as the way you have explained here, just watch the video again to come back to it. But at least I have a clearer perspective to it now than the last class.
Okay. So what
Yes, sir.
you guys are doing in the assignment is not rocket science. I've already created a file for you. You understand? I've created a bone for it. So you guys will just add the flesh to it. I'm going to push this one to my repo now. And what you guys will do, you just complete it for virtual machine. Before you complete this module, first thing you do, go to for that start. I will suggest firstly start with your virtual network. Do you understand? Start with your virtual network. The next thing, do your public IP, and after that, now do your virtual machine. Do you understand?
Okay,
Start
sir.
with your virtual network. After that, do your public IP. After that, now do your virtual machine. Please, you understand the way I arranged it. So, what for you to start with virtual network, you have to go and create your find. You can use ChatGPT to give you a bicep code for this thing for virtual network, or I can let me see if I can get Microsoft documentation. Virtual network. That's it. Okay, so I'm coming. I'm, I'm coming. I'm trying to get the documentation for you guys. Okay, I've gotten it. So this is the documentation for your virtual network. I'm going to drop this on the group. So you can just follow that pathway to create your virtual network. So that's for virtual network. Do you see how it is? Can you open the link? Can you guys open the link? You can see there's a lot of things in there, right? Can you see it?
I'm still trying to open it. Yeah. So okay, yes.
You can see that. Ah, okay, I'm not sharing my screen. Let me share my screen. So let me share my screen. Yeah, so you guys can see what I'm showing. Um, on point, please. On point, please. I'm looking for a window. I'm not seeing it on my screen. Okay, see, Benga, maybe you'll be able to share your screen. Just share your screen. I'm not seeing it on my side. I don't know why. I'm trying to share it, but I'm not seeing it. So, Benga, can you share your
Okay.
screen?
All right. Let me.
So you can just show that's one. Okay, good. So when you scroll down, scroll down, let's scroll down. Yeah, you can see the format for virtual network. It can be so long. Literally, you don't need everything. You understand? You don't need all of it. The code in there is very long and it's diverse. So the major things you need there is your virtual network location, your virtual network name, your virtual network address space. You understand those the major things that you need. Your subnet, you get it. Those are the major parameters you need in there. You don't need all these other gateway and all those many things. So you can look at ChatGPT that I need a bicep code to deploy a simple virtual network. ChatGPT can get you something that you can use. You don't need to look at this thing. It can look so cumbersome. So that's why I said that when we want to start on biceps, we will need to take it easy and follow the step one after the other. It's very complex, and it's even I think it's more complex than you using Terraform. So that's why I started with it before we did Terraform. If I know if we do Terraform before biceps, ah, you guys run away from the class. So that's for virtual network. Let me see if I can get the one for um virtual machine. Virtual machine. Virtual machine. Our time is almost up. Virtual machine bicep. I'm dropping virtual machine biceps also, and I'll drop public IP. So you can even search it on Google. It's easy. Just put virtual network biceps. It's going to bring it out for you. If you put for what do I call it, for virtual machine, this one I want to drop now is for virtual machine. This for virtual machine. So let me get the one for public IP. You can just do public IP on your Google search. Just search public IP bicep. It's going to bring out the code for you. So here's it. Okay, let me drop. Okay, let me. Okay, and here's the code for public IP. Awesome, public IP. So okay, so there's the code for public IP address. Can you see it? So I've dropped the one for virtual network, um, uh, the one for this thing, virtual machine and public IP. Please, guys, I I am trying as much as possible to not train you guys on ChatGPT. And the reason why I'm doing is that you may get to some environment, they will tell you that you can't use ChatGPT in their environment. All these public AI platforms, you can't use it, they'll block it. So how do you want to solve your problem? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So I'm not like training you to say, okay, you can't use AI. You can use AI, but please don't be solely dependent on AI in this kind of thing because of in some environment you may not be able to use it, and you need to write to these codes. So how do you do it? The only thing you refer back to is Microsoft documentation. Do you understand? So I'm dropping documentation and I'm telling you, you can use AI also to do it. So after you have done it, after creating for the resources, the next thing you do, create in the submodule. and that's all. So I think that explains the assignment for last week. I hope we are good.